Welcome to Chatty TV Junkie. Today we are going to talk about Bachelor in Paradise, episode 1 of this week, which was last night, Monday night. And then tonight I will watch the second episode and do another video for that tomorrow. First off, if you're new here, thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification so you know when I upload, which for this channel will be more often than my other channel, which is Wonderful World of Wendy. If you happen to be into travel, go check out that. Links for that are below. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the announcer. So we all know that Chris Harrison left the show, and they have this new announcer now who starts out the show. I don't know if any of you have watched Love Island, but it sounds like they're trying to do the same sort of delivery as the Love Island guy, and I don't like that delivery either. It's a lot of I come from a radio and TV background, and that type of announcing is super out now. Like a lot of the spots that you listen to on television, you'll never hear that kind of a delivery for like a national spot. Sometimes for like a local car spot, but I don't know. There's just something about that voice that just, I didn't like it at all. I think they should use Wells for the intro because he's pretty much narrating it as far as the rose ceremony and the bartender, which is a little strange. I was actually surprised that David Spade didn't do the rose ceremony because he's been saying hello to all the new guests, or at least he did for the first episode, and then last night when Demi came on board. And so that was just the whole thing was with these guest stars is just a little strange, not quite understanding why they just don't give the whole role to Wells. So if you have any comments on that, leave that below. All right, so speaking of Demi, she arrived last night. She was the last girl to arrive because the boys have decided who they're going to vote off this week. And I took some notes, and I like Demi. I really do. I know she's she's like throwing a wrench into the mix type of thing. So she took Brandon out for a date, and he has already been with another girl on the island, and they seem to have a connection, but he was like, oh, sure, I'll go on this date with you. So they go on some jet skis, and they go around, and then they have what I thought was sort of a fake kind of kiss going on. I wonder if a lot of this stuff is scripted when it comes to Paradise, but, so after they did that, he's like, well, I just want to let you know that I want to leave my options open. And of course she gets mad that he said that after they had just made out on the beach. And so she goes back and she starts talking to some of the girls. They tell her, oh, well, he's been seeing someone at home before he came here, and maybe he's waiting for her to come down, and that's why he wants to leave his options open. So she confronts him. He denies it, and it became this whole thing. So at the end, he ends up hanging out more with the girl that he was originally with, and so that was that section of it. The other part that was just kind of a weird twist was Victoria P. Apparently she was the troublemaker on one of the other shows, which I don't recall her being a troublemaker. But so she goes on this date with James, and she keeps forgetting his name. She keeps calling James Jordan. Jordan, in the interview, she's like, Jordan, I mean James, I mean Jordan, I mean James. And it was just really strange. So the rumor about her was that she has a boyfriend at home, and the only reason why she's on the show is because she wants some sort of hometown date and the cameras to be in her hometown, and he does music. It's just, the story was a little strange, but the fact that she did have someone home was the big question mark. So he was told by some of the girls that, hey, just so you know, we don't really know the situation, but we think she might have someone at home. Now he's like, oh, that's great, because now I just spent the last week hanging out with her. So he confronts her. She gets all bent out of shape, super defensive. Not like, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. But she was like super on the defensive. So she goes to the girls. Why did you do that to me? And they're like, well, we're just, telling the truth. We heard you have a guy back home. No, that was done before I came here. And then she decided to just leave the island. So she left Bachelor in Paradise on her own. And so that makes you think that, well, yeah, maybe she probably did have somebody at home. So then after that, The other Victoria, which is the goddess now instead of the princess or the queen. I don't know. She keeps changing her crowns and stuff. Well, she doesn't have anyone that she's been connecting with at all on Bachelor in Paradise. I don't know if it's an island. I keep calling it an island. But she hasn't really connected with anyone. She was one of the girls that actually did get eliminated. And so other than that, there was no real storyline. They really didn't show a whole lot of Grocery Joe with Serena. I happen to really like this guy. Don't know if I like that girl for him. There is a huge age difference, which isn't super a big deal when you get older, but when you're in your late 20s and you date someone who's in their late 30s, it's a little bit of a difference because where you are in your 20s is completely different than where you are in your 30s and 40s. So we'll see how that one works out, but I'd really like him. The other girl that didn't connect with anyone was Champagne Girl. Of course, they showed that at the beginning when she walked down the pathway to meet David Spade, and she had a bottle of champagne. She made him open it. It's the whole ongoing joke with her and the champagne. So she ended up leaving as well. She did not get a rose, so she also left. The third girl that went home was Serena C. She tried to kiss one of the other boys, and he was just, he did, but then he wasn't into it. So she ended up going home and not getting a rose. So that's where we are for tonight's episode. It will be the girls that eliminate the boys, and so there will be some more guys coming on tonight, and so we will see where everything lands. James, the one who didn't know who he was going to pick after Victoria sent herself home, he ended up picking Demi. And so they're just there as friends. So probably they're going to explore the relationship. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I have a feeling there might be someone else coming on for her. Not real sure. So we'll see how that all plays out as well. All right. Well, if you like or dislike something about the episode, leave your comments below. Let's get a conversation going. I will be back tomorrow with tonight's episode, Tuesday's episode of Bachelor in Paradise, with my 2 cents and commentary. And in the meantime, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you tomorrow.